Ben introduced onto stage.
Ben, you have a major show this weekend. Tottenham Stadium, over 60,000 sold out crowd. What kind of atmosphere are you expecting?
Look, this is absolutely enormous. I think it's going to be something that goes down in history. It's the biggest fight of the year. It's the biggest event of the year. It's the biggest story in British boxing of the past 30 years. I'm delighted to be involved. Thank you to Boxer, Matchroom, the ring, His Excellency. Without him, we wouldn't have been able to get this fight even made, but what a card and what an event we have to look forward to.
And look, there's no secret about the rivalry between you and Eddie Hearn. How badly do you want Eubank to win this fight?
Look, he's already told me it's on site, and so I'm just watching myself. But no, in all seriousness, this is about Chris and Conor. Chris is ready. He's had an unbelievable camp. He's taken this as serious as he's ever taken any fight, and he's ready to do the business on Saturday.
And what kind of fight are you expecting on Saturday?
Look, I think it's going to be an unbelievable first 2 or 3, extremely frantic. I think Conor's going to come out, but I think once it settles down, I think Chris is going to show him who's boss and take him out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
And now let's welcome Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing.
So here comes Eddie Hearn, distinct height and reach advantage. I don't know if we're going to get a face-off between the two. We've had a nice friendly handshake, which is a good start.
Eddie, you promoted a lot of big shows in England, obviously with Anthony Joshua, a lot of fights at Wembley Stadium. How does this fight between Eubank and Ben stack up?
Well, this is the biggest fight in British boxing outside of the heavyweight division since Froch and Groves. But this has something very different. This has an appeal to all kinds of demographics, all kinds of age groups. Everyone knew their fathers and everyone knows who they are. This is the greatest rivalry in British boxing. Eubank Ben 3, really, if you want to call it. But just a massive event sold out at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and a real important moment for British boxing and these two fighters.
And look, this fight obviously was meant to happen a few years ago, but it feels like it's a lot bigger now with all the build-up, right?
Yeah, of course. Look, the narrative was there originally. Now you've got 2 years of bad blood. You know, the controversy, the build-up, this week as well. But it's a great fight. You know, I said before, people talking about their fathers, of course, they're two of the biggest legends of British boxing. But these are two world-class fighters in their respective divisions. And our boy is just looking sensational, ready to do the business.
Yeah, and you say he's looking great. He's obviously moving up 2 weight classes. How do you think he's going to look on fight night?
I think he's going to look sensational. I've never seen anyone put work like this in training camp. I've never seen him sharper. I've never seen him more focused. He wins by knockout on Saturday night. There's no question in my mind, the team's mind, he's ready. And you will see a demolition job from Conor Benn on Saturday night.
Thanks, Eddie.
Eddie and Ben, if we could please have you stand together for photos, please.
They need to turn around and give us a face-off here, surely. Surely.
I don't think Eddie would let him leave the stage if that happened, Eddie.
Just for a bit of fun. That was an awkward photo. I think it's fair to say, isn't it?
There's a lot of awkwardness on that stage.
It's just the whole crowd as well, just staying quiet and letting just stand there in silence.
Ladies and gentlemen, our main event this Saturday, scheduled 12 rounds in the middleweight division. Let's first welcome from Ilford, London, England, undefeated with 23 wins, 14 of his 23 wins coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome the undefeated former WBA Continental Champion, Conor the Destroyer Benn.
Something I find interesting about this is when you hear the fight announced, Sonny, 12 rounds middleweight, no title, doesn't matter. As somebody once said a few years ago, this is for the title of each other. It's for bragging rights. It might not have that much significance on a global scale in terms of world champions, but it is a British blood feud, and that is what sells.
Yeah, one that started, what, 20, 30 years ago, and captured a whole generation. Their fathers have set such a legacy for them both to walk in that this is one of the biggest fights of today's day.
Conor, you're a natural welterweight, moving up 2 weight classes, and in your middleweight debut, you're fighting one of the best in the worord. How strong are you feeling?
Yeah, listen, I mean, it don't concern me in the slightest. You know, I've prepared hard. I've done everything I possibly can in the gym. I've left no stone unturned. So for me, I look at him, I ain't really too concerned. You know, I'll beat him anyway.
This has been a really heated promotion, a lot of bad blood. Is it personal?
Yeah, it's always personal. Every opponent I fight is personal. People want to say it's strictly business. It ain't business. It's never business. If you're trying to put your hands on me and render me unconscious, it's never business. It's always personal. Every single one of my opponent. But this one has a little bit more history to it, should we say.
Yeah, you know, 30 years in the making, you might say, and you're going to fight him on Saturday at Tottenham. How badly do you want to get your hands on him?
Yeah, badly. I mean, I wish I'd done already. I wish I was fighting tonight. You know, so unfortunately we got to wait a few more days. But, you know, ultimately all the hard work's done. I'm excited to go in there and do a number on him.
And what's your prediction?
As soon as I get my hands on him, he'll know what's up.
Thank you, and best of luck.
And now let's welcome from Brighton, England. He has a professional record of 34 wins, 3 defeats. 25 of those 34 wins come by way of knockout. He is the former WBA interim world champion and current IBO middleweight world champion and number 5 by Ring Magazine. Here is Chris Eubank Jr.
That was a good line from Conor Benn. It's never just business, it's always personal. And this is very, very personal between these two. I just feel, Matt, that if Eubank loses this fight, it'll kind of destroy his career, to be honest, because he's fighting for the Eubank name. So is Conor Benn, but Conor Benn's younger. He can come again. He's the one going up 2 different weight divisions. For Eubank, there is nothing other than winning.
Yeah, I think it would destroy Eubank, and rightly so. Conor Benn could stand the loss a lot more. He'd almost got the justification. I stepped up 2 weights, etc., etc. But
Chris, a fight many years in the making. You're the naturally bigger guy, 160 pounds, middleweight, and you're fighting Conor Benn coming up 2 weight classes. How much of an advantage do you think you have in the size, strength, and power department?
I keep hearing this 2 weight classes thing. He's not coming up 2 weight classes. His last fight was at 156 pounds. He's putting 4 pounds on. He hasn't been a welterweight for 3 years. This fight isn't about size or weight. It's about skill. It's about dedication. It's about expertise. And all those areas I excel in and have got many, many more years of experience over Conor Benn, and that will be the deciding factor on the night.
Well, yeah, you're certainly the most experienced opponent of Conor Benn's career. Do you think your skills are going to be too much, your jab, your power?
Again, it's, this isn't any one attribute. I'm a complete fighter. I've been doing this for so long now. I've forgotten more things than he knows. And that will show on the night. The experience, the dedication, and the will. These will all be the deciding factors.
It's been a really heated promotion. You're already fined by the British Boxing Board of Control. Can we expect to see any more shenanigans from you in this promotion?
Shenanigans? I don't do shenanigans. I do what I believe is right, and I do what I want to do. If you guys think there's shenanigans, then that's fair enough. I'm just being me.
And lastly, you've talked a lot about your desire to fight Canelo Alvarez at some point. What kind of statement are you looking to make on Saturday as you look into that fight?
The procedure will be parliamentary. That's the only thing I can say about the outcome of this fight. Everything will go the way I want it to go. I will be like a matador in that ring, and Conor Benn will be the bull.
Thank you, and best of luck.
Fighters, please face off at this time.
So I wonder how close they're going to let these two get to each other.
This, our main event, Saturday, scheduled 12 rounds.
That's a
in
sensible
the
distance, I would
middleweight
say.
division.
Yeah, I think so. I
The
mean,
undefeated
just in
Conor,
case.
the Destroyer
You just don't want
Ben
anything stupid
versus
happening to fall off the stage. Someone does their
Eubank
ankle. Do you know what I mean? There's
Jr.
too much on the line now.
The procedure will be parliamentary. Throwing back to a favourite phrase of his dad's. He used it during the press conference as well. He was typical Eubank there. Ben was nice and relaxed, to be honest. I thought he gave good answers. Eubank, of the two of them, is a more natural orator. He knows that. Thursday will be his opportunity, really, to speak at length and say the things that he feels he wants to say. Conor Benn the first there just to break the gaze. As we were saying earlier on, nobody wants to invest too much in stare downs at this stage of the week, because we said it a few times now, Matt, but once you get past the 30-40 second mark, then it turns into a thing and nobody wants to be the first one. So they've all got that kind of internal body clock where they know when the right time is just to nice and relaxed, nice and casually just break it off. Nobody's won, nobody's lost.